The current spoiler level warning is, deal.
Friends and folks, for this episode, you're looking at a spoiler warning level of teal. We haven't gotten to use the other colors in a while. So we're talking about machines from Gundam 00, and mostly it's not plot stuff. We have some conversational plot spoilers, I would say, where we just sort of offhandedly mention things, but nothing that's significant. And also, it's in the past of the Great Gundam Project, so probably you are fine. But if you are super sensitive to Gundam 00 spoilers, which is fair enough, skip this one. Otherwise, please enjoy the episode. Hello, friends and folks, and welcome back to another episode of Mechanista in G. Did you supposed to post, mods or sleep post Kasahisa Kondo?
Yeah, Kondo. Sorry, I was talking with Six about this before it started. So they're doing the little Kondo-styled models, and so there was apparently a picture of him, and I was just like, wait, I've never seen him before, I realized.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, apparently the pre-order for the kit already closed on, like, HLJ and stuff, too, so yay. I'm glad these are popular, because I hope they continue doing... Well, we know they're going to do more, because they showed off the prototype of the Dewaj now for that line, which is really makes me happy as someone who likes those.
Make the goblin!
Okay, so we know the O2 is next. After the O2, the world is their oyster. There's so many different things they can do, so I'm really hoping for a goblin also, yes.
The goblin is so good. We need more goblin.
After our goblin episode, I've been very goblin obsessed also, so I've been like, oh, they're doing this line, they gotta do the goblin.
It's such a good design.
It is so
I think it's the best of, like, Kondo's aesthetic, because I think Kondo has this, like, sort of, like big, like, bulky proportions kind of aesthetic that he likes doing. And the contrast between that and how small the goblin is just perfect.
Now, I will say, the Dewaj here, also looks great.
That gun is sick. What the hell is that?
It's just the gun that the Dewaj has shown. Yeah. I think the Dewaj looks great. I think they showed an illustration of them, like, doing it, but they didn't, the design wasn't finalized. So...
Is that what the Dewaj looks like?
When Kondo draws it, it is.
Fair enough. I'm like, I don't remember it having, like, little wings in the back.
Yeah, no, it doesn't normally. Well, you know what? It does have little... I think it has, like,
it
little...
has the antennas, but
fins,
I guess...
yeah, normally.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, he did it that way, but, yeah.
Huh.
I
mean, I like this better.
Yeah. They went with calling these VA kits? VA kits? We finally know... I don't think we had the name of the line before. We had just seen them, but yeah. And then there's the Dewaj, and of course, tentative release, tentative price, but they have a prototype of it, so...
Mm-hmm.
That bodes well, and given that the Gyaradogas both have sold well, seemingly, yeah. Anyway, robots. Our modified list. Have you looked over the modified thing?
I haven't. I wanted to do it on air. This is a trust fall.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I'm scared.
All right,
but
let's see. I'm gonna create a little more space in between covered and not covered, but like. Okay. Look at Cosmic. Oh, sure. Ooh.
I was surprised that wasn't on there. So I was like, oh. Well,
this looks great.
So, to explain to the audience, I decided, hey, remember how we started the show in 2021 and never covered build stuff in the early things, but then we started covering build stuff later? It turns out there are many build designs that we probably would have covered. Too many to do in cleanup, so I finally made a build section. Ironically, in doing the build section, I realized, there's some guys that we just haven't ever done in general, like the Zeta 2, or
the Crossbone X1.
The Lotus Stray. Yeah, we haven't done X1? How the fuck haven't we done the X1?
I don't know.
It's very funny. Because there are times where I'm like, I swear I've talked with these about 6, but the problem is we talk robots a lot. So, who knows? It could have just been off mic or something. It's hard to know. So, I updated, I think I have, like, every age design now on our list. There's also some Anno Domini stuff where I'm like, what? How did we not talk about these? Even though last week I was like, oh yeah, we're totally done with the Anno Domini. I think I even said that on air.
We didn't talk about the Quanta.
We haven't talked about the Quanta, the Keradim, the Cerevi, and then the rest of them are obviously things that are more obscure. But then, here's the thing. I found complete lists of mobile suits and just started digging and searching, and I was like, okay, I have to add to this.
We all appreciate your hard work on this.
No, that's fine. There's probably more I could add. I felt bad that I had like 3 good days of adding stuff, and then I was like, oh god, I need to do more. But I'll do more, don't worry, eventually. Anyway.
Well, we're immediately taking advantage of your new work.
Okay, cool. I figured. We didn't roll a 1, did we?
No, we didn't.
God damn. One day we'll roll UC again. One day. I thought about jokingly rearranging the bottom so UC isn't at 1 and Cosmic Era was instead.
There's kind of no way for me to do this that you won't immediately know. Because you just... I mean, well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
But, you just sort of reviewed what's on this list, you know?
Yeah. Only problem with me adding a bunch of stuff is now my brain is fresh full of robots.
Uh-huh. Well, let's see if there's any way. Here you go.
Oh, well, okay, we got the 00 Weirdos. I don't remember the name of this one, but... That's the problem, is I don't remember the name, I just know it is, the weird underwater unit that the HRL uses. So we hit the HRL leftovers, yay!
We did. I'm gonna pronounce this as the Shuichai. Alright.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put more of them on the screen.
The 4th entry for just to reveal this for fans. I combined friends fans into one word.
Fans Ferdinand.
Anyway, so with the 00 list, the very last entry was Human Reform League leftovers, because there are 2 suits, quote-unquote suits, that the Human Reform League has that we didn't cover, they're not related to each other, but they're not related to anything, so it was just like, fuck it, I'll put them both on here, because I kind of realized, look, sometimes you just gotta consolidate things that are similar enough, and these are similar in that we would never cover them on their own otherwise, so... Anyway, yeah, the MAJ-03 Shuichai. Shuichai? Is that what we're going with?
Sure, Shuichai.
Yeah, Shuichai. So this is an aquatic mobile armor that appears in Gundam 00, produced by the Human Reform League. It is, well, I mean, it's an aquatic mobile armor, so I guess I'll describe it. It's very strange. So, for the main body, you've sort of got, like, what I would describe as being the head and the body, a frontal fuselage that, has, like, a little submarine tower on top is what this reminds me of. Like, the little top parts on submarines. Has, like, a single mono-eye in the middle, just kind of in there. You've got what I presume is the actual cockpit hatch, or submarine hatch, I guess, here. But, there's like a little round circular part on the top there. As you hit the middle, the design has basically mandibles towards the front of the head. Just large, boxy, square ones. There's a little bit of in and out on them, along with, obviously, them pinching inward. Because you can see they can tuck in all the way under the head, but you can also see here, you can see the extended arms, so they can kind of pop out a little bit. Then, as you move behind those, you have 2, little bits of rounded armor going out that are connected into the arms. It looks like the split for the mandible actually continues all the way back, because you can see the armor is still split even behind the arms there. So there's like an upper and lower armor section, and then the middle section is just like thinner. You also have, I presume these have to be, I don't know for sure. These look like these would be like torpedo hatches or missile hatches of some sort. Just along the back there. Actually, yeah, okay, it does have torpedo launchers, yeah. So you can see, these little hatches along the sides. There's 4 on either side.
I feel like weird spots for them.
Yeah, no, they're on the side. Well, I guess if the idea is, well...
Is it like going underneath and then firing the torpedoes up to sink
Are they vertical? Well, that's the thing, right? Is I'm like, are they vertically launched? Or are they horizontally launched?
My recollection in the show is this thing, like, grabs the Exia and then is basically instantly obliterated.
Yeah. We see them pop open in the show, but even here, I think these are aiming up. Maybe? Because that looks like that's the water below. You can see bubbles there.
But there's...
So if you're looking
there's always
at
the
this...
water. I mean, if you're underwater, there's always going to be the water there. Wherever you are.
Yeah, but if you're looking at it... Well, but look... Okay, to describe my logic. You see what I mean with the shape? Well...
No, with the seam...
Yeah,
the
there's a seam
we
there.
see here is like this seam. Which makes it seem like they're pointing forward, even though that doesn't make any sense with these doors.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna discard this art.
Yeah, this image is meaningless to helping us.
Wait, put it back real quick.
Okay, sorry, take a sip of my drink.
What if it's not these?
Oh, then where?
What if it's these?
Oh, on the arms.
Because that lines up.
Yeah. Oh, it does say on the movable side armor on the wiki. Yes, you are right. It's on the arms. Okay, so it can technically aim them anyway. What are these hatches?
They could just be. They could be fuel. They could be people. I don't know.
Decorative armor to make it look more like a machine.
Sure, yeah.
If I want to just go out of universe. Alright, so, okay. So the movable side armor is interesting because looking at it, the way these are is so you have like a large shoulder piece, and it has some armor that... I imagine these are by default swept back, like in this illustration, for going through the water. Don't wave. And then, yeah, so it's some rounded armor, and you can see, well, there's the torpedo hatches, I guess. So they can be aimed any which way. Very small torpedoes, I feel like, though, for given the size of these.
Yeah.
The armor has a teardrop shape, and towards the bottom, halfway, or a little more than halfway above where the teardropping starts, you have just some flat armor as you go down. The flat armor at the bottom has like a little square cut out of it and some panel lines on it.
This is just a size comparison.
On the opposite side of on the inside part of the flat armor, sort of connected to the bottom of the teardrop, you've got these large metallic arms that are just on the inside, and they're very simple in design. It looks like they have... they have a couple of cut joints for rotation, like in the middle of it. All the joints are very visible. It's 3 sections of arm, so basically a bicep, a forearm, and a very large hand. The hand is kind of like 2 static claws, and then a thumb claw, like in between those, that is able to grab and pinch if necessary. So, not very fancy manipulators on this, just kind of big flat bits of metal, with some simple joints on them. And as you can see, it grabbing the Exia's leg there. And finally, the quote-unquote tail of this unit. This is kind of interesting. So, it looks like the tail, from what I can see in the art, looks like it has, like, some movement, on the, middle of the body there. And then the tail is basically just the end of a submarine, but elongated. So it, like, starts off a bit, like, chubbier towards the base and then thins out as you hit towards the end. You have these little side wings on them, just sticking out on the sides. The underside area is, like, red, and it has some openings. Then there's another red strip of armor, besides, like, the open part there. And then as you reach the end of the tail, you have two vertical fins, one going up, one going down, about a little more than halfway past the back of the tail. And then you've got what appears to just be like a thruster at the very end, just like a little red. I presume it's like a weird rotor or something, given that this is an aquatic unit. And that would be the Shuichai. I think it appears in literally one episode, and they try to use it to get the Exia, and it gets destroyed pretty quick. If I remember right, it just gets stabbed? Because,
I think it gets its arms cut off and then it gets stabbed.
Yeah. It's a cool looking design. I'm sad that it basically... Yeah. The only episode pictures are from an episode which is Indiscriminate Retaliation, which is the 8th episode. Shuichai, the actual Chinese word for that, is the nymph of a dragonfly, by the way.
Oh,
so that's what these are named after.
Sure.
Are dragonfly nymphs aquatic? I'm curious.
Dragonflies seem to like water, so that would make sense to me, but that's all I'm basing this.
Yep, it's the aquatic immature stage of a dragonfly. Spends months to years underwater. Yep, that makes sense.
Huh.
I was just thinking of like there's other flying insects that also go with water-bound eggs and whatnot, Mosquitoes are another example. Anyway.
You're right that these things are like... This like, the torpedoes must be tiny, given that this machine is pretty much the same size as the Exia, and the torpedo tubes are pretty small. The other thing I'm curious about is, do you know what the radio call is for firing a torpedo?
What is it?
No, I don't know. I'm thinking about it because I had a conversation. So there's the announcement of the bad looking Star Fox remake, right?
Uh-huh.
And we got talking, me and like Kyrie mostly got talking about like, well, you wouldn't say Fox 2 because foxes are just people in that setting.
Yeah.
So what would you say?
Right.
And then what is the torpedo equivalent of that? Because I don't know that either.
I don't know. I'm looking at the diameter of some torpedoes. Apparently there are, There are some torpedoes that are actually pretty light, like, India has the Advanced Lightweight Torpedo, which only has a diameter of 12.8 inches. It does weigh 110 pounds. So, I guess I'm, like, looking at other ones, and there are ones that are, like, diameters of only, like, 10 inches. So I guess they don't... Usually torpedoes, mostly they're long rather than wide, I guess, looking at a lot of these, which I guess for an aquatic weapon makes sense.
Sure.
The largest one on this list, there's a bunch of Soviet ones that are 650 millimeters, or 26 inches wide. And those tend to be the largest torpedoes, on this list.
Okay. I have found my answer. I guess I'm impressed with myself for finding it so fast. So I pulled up the Navy's tactical brevity codes list, which is what these are called, these sort of shorthands. And I should know, I've heard this before in movies with submarines. It's, like blank away.
Oh, right, duh.
1 away, 2 away. Sure, yeah, makes sense.
Yep. God, I'm looking at some of the... These torpedoes are long. Here. Obviously this angle's a little awkward, but, like, for the example of the torpedo I brought up that has the, seemingly the widest width. It's actually still pretty thin. But look at how long it is.
Yeah.
And that's like the widest one that was on Wikipedia, at least. This is a Type 65 torpedo, which is meant for use against like super tankers and aircraft carriers, so quite,
Again, I I never wanted to be mistaken when I'm theorizing versus when I know what I'm talking about. I wonder if the length is like it has a front breaching charge, and then you want as much as the torpedo inside the target as possible, because your explosion is going to be more effective inside a ship than it is in water.
Yeah, taking a
So
look. I'm
maybe
curious.
that's why.
There's also the nuclear variant of the same one. Unguided nuclear. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I feel like we should guide nuclear things.
They have, so for the default one, though, it has sonar inside of it and wire guidance. It has explosives. It has peroxide. Oh, well, I guess that's the thing. It needs to have its, fuel for propulsion. It has its sonar system in there. So I guess thinking on it, there's probably a lot inside of it going on, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you want to keep it thin, though, because it's going through water. So
that also makes sense. Yeah.
So I guess this is actually pretty normal. I don't know a lot about torpedoes. Even when I played war video games and military sim games, I usually don't. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of aquatic ones.
No.
I think Koei made one for the PS2 that I know of. Like, is it? Hold on. Is it Crimson? No, Crimson Sea is a hack and slash. Fuck. I thought Koei actually had like a...
I mean, there's like Silent Hunter and stuff. But I haven't played those.
Yeah. Okay, there's Pacific Theater of Operations, which is a strategy game by Koei. I was pretty sure there was a Koei one that I couldn't think of, but anyway, that's an older one.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway. All right. So that's the Shuichai.
Indeed.
And then the next one is I think I'm going to go with let me look at the katakana before I say anything. The katakana is Xiaoshou. So.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yep, the MAJ-08 Xiaoshou.
Wait. What is this? This is not what I thought we were going to be talking about.
What did you think we were talking about?
I thought we were going to talk about the Jiachong.
The what? I don't know that one.
Okay, well, you post yours and then I'll post mine.
Okay. Yeah, so... I'll have to see if we've talked about that one, because I went through a whole list, so maybe...
I'm pretty sure we haven't talked about this one, but... Actually, this one I think we have talked about.
Oh, have we talked about the Xiaoshou?
At the very least, you and I have.
Well, the thing is, I know we've talked about the fixed HRL other orbital elevator guy. This is like a weird mobile worker thing.
Oh, maybe we haven't talked about the specific one then. We talked about one that looks a lot like this. What's the other one look like? What's it called?
I don't remember.
Let me see if it's on our sheet. Let's see.
Well, I thought you might be thinking of, because this is like a weird space worker thing, the Tyran Shishu, which is the Tyran that's just attached to the orbital elevator on the wires going up and down.
Let's see. Tyran Shishu. No, this is not what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
I remember it being a weird little guy balanced on top of a propellant tank.
Okay, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure when I looked up... Oh! No, we did talk about this on the Tearing Ground episode, I think. What? Oh, we talked about it because the Shishu had this as a predecessor, so never mind. This is not what I thought. Okay. What was the one you were thinking of? So we have already talked about this. You were right.
Wow. It's rare I'm right about anything around here.
No? What?
I'm not... that isn't shade at you. That is shade at me. I was thinking of the Jiachong. They don't have the. I'm sticking with Jiachong despite the katakana, which the katakana is more like Jiachong, because there's the ng at the end that is Chinese is kind of hard to do in Japanese without overpronouncing it. I'm talking about this thing.
I wonder if maybe I saw this on the list and I accidentally copied the wrong name, because I don't think we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Because what is this? What is the model number on this one?
This is the MAJ-V34.
Okay. There's a couple types of this too. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Let me double check one thing real quick because I'm curious. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I had not. I don't know. I didn't remember this one. All right, so the Jiachong, or Jiachong, look, I'm bad at pronouncing this, and my brain always defaults to the katakana, but you said that's probably wrong, so I'm like, oh no.
I mean, it's. I say it's probably wrong, but it's like this is a whole thing, right? Like, are you familiar with the is it a, I forget if it's a poem or a full on book. Let me pull it like before I say. Are you familiar with Don Juan?
No.
It is a book written by a British author about a character named Don Juan, and you're hearing me say that, and you're like, well, Six, clearly it's Don Juan. Yes, but the guy who wrote it was, a fool who didn't know anything about Spanish, and so he says it's Don Juan, and that's what the author says, so it's Don Juan. It's sort of the classic example of...
Okay, yes, okay, because I have heard of Don Juan, I was gonna say.
Right, but the book, yeah. So in this case, it's like, I think, obviously, I'm not going to have perfect Chinese myself. Lord knows. I believe Jiachong would be closer to the Chinese, but if they say it's Jiacho, then that's...
Well, and then the other problem, right, is that, with katakana especially, Japanese will usually sometimes just omit sounds entirely because it'll make it easier to pronounce. Or alter sounds, It's not hamu baga, it's han baga, because that has a better mouth feel, I think. And it still gets across the same idea, even though hamburger doesn't have an N in it.
There's, we're watching, Maho Sentai Magic Ranger on another show. And there's a vampire lady who can split into two people, Nai and Mare. And first there's the fun pun of, because to is and, so it's Nai to Mare. So that's cute. But then there's an episode where they're playing in a band and Mare has her name written in English on her guitar, and it's M-A-E. It's like, oh, of course you just admitted the R because it's easier. Because katakana. Mea.
Yeah, Mea. Yeah. Yeah, because it's not Meru, it's Mea.
Yeah.
Because
I said
katakana is about
MEA.
more... I feel like a lot of katakana is more about approximating the sound, even if the sound itself is not actually using the letters. Because language becomes a whole interesting thing, because, obviously there's the individual sounds, but then are the sounds the same sounds? In Japanese, ra, di, du, de, ro, you're making the R, L, and D sounds at the same time with that sound, which is not a sound that exists in English,
I think a lot of it feels like it's like trying to get close enough while staying easy for a Japanese speaker to pronounce. Yeah. That's sort of the priority.
And of course, the other thing, where they grab the language from can be all over the place. This is how you end up with bread as pun, right? Because, hey, I believe that was from the Portuguese traders, that they encountered bread, so they called it pun because pan, bread. Anyway. So yeah, the Jiachong here is a tank, basically. It is described as a mobile armor. This is a tank. But, tank-like mobile armor. Okay. Fun design, though. So, starting with, I guess I will consider the turret the head. You've got a smaller turret on top that is probably like a machine gun of some sort. Yeah, 30mm machine gun.
That muzzle type is not machine gun muzzle type, but that's
usually on a sniper or something, right? Having the
that's like single big. I mean, you also see it on some cannons and stuff, but it is for like a single big shot, not for repeated. But whatever.
Yeah, 'cause I know that's a muzzle brake, right? Is what that's called.
Yeah. I mean, then again, here's them just firing tanks into the sky for anti-air, so maybe they don't have the best grasp of how to use military assets.
Yeah. Or maybe that's the smoothbore gun on top, and that is the machine gun.
Oh, that would be kind of tight, actually.
The measurements don't make it feel like that's the case, given that
the
smoothbore is supposed to be an 85mm by 50, so it's clearly much larger than the 30mm machine gun.
Also, the way the fire effect is drawn here, it is like
rapid.
A machine gun. That is, you can't fire a tank that fast.
No.
I mean, this is the future. Who knows, but... Huh.
Or
maybe some animators just didn't get the note.
Yeah. Anyway. Alright, so on top, though, you have this little smaller turret. The gun on top, has some up and down mobility and is able to rotate separately from the main turret. The main turret is quite large. It has an interesting shape for this turret because it has, like... you have it's kind of the shape you expect from most of it. You've got, like, the very, like, flattened armor at angles for deflecting fire around the edges of it, and then you've got the large cannon in the middle going all the way down. The cannon has several little ring sections going on with it. I don't know what this little part at the end is. I know I've seen that on other tanks. I don't know tanks.
Yeah, I'm ignorant of it too.
Even though I have played more military simulation games with tanks. The weird feature is it has this back radiator that's attached to the turret though. This looks like it would be attached to the back of the tank, but then you look at the rear shot and no, that's on the back of the turret. And it's just this big square part that extends a little far to the side. And I have to presume this is a radiator or something, because the way it's got these little openings, they look like, maybe for heat venting or something. Though in animation, there's no detail drawn on this. And actually, it's drawn completely differently in animation without that part at all, as you can see here.
Okay, that's really... I figured out, I think, what this is, and it's really fucking interesting.
Oh, what is it?
So, it seems to me like it's a muzzle reference system, which is a part you attach near the end of the barrel that sends data back to the tank's computer, because as a tank is firing, the barrel gets very hot. And so the metal softens and and it's tracking how much the barrel is deforming.
That makes sense. Actually.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what's with this back radiator part that both seems to be attached to the turret in the sete, but isn't even existing in this art.
Maybe it's extra ammo? It'd be a weird place to keep it.
Yeah, I don't know. Then for the middle of the tank, the main body of it is just kind of you've got a rounded bit of armor on the front. It's square or going around towards the back, very flat on the back. Looks like tank armor towards the back. The front, though, is so rounded and weird looking for this. I imagine this is actually the hatch maybe right here, given the way this is designed. Because it doesn't look like it. I mean, I guess this whole part could open up. That feels kind of dangerous, though.
Yeah.
Because if that probably weighs a lot, and if you were manually opening that and that fell on your head in the heat of combat, you'd be dead.
The problem with that being the hatch is you get hit in the head with the gun.
Yeah, this is a weird... The more I look at this, the more this...
get in from underneath? That'd be really dangerous. There'd be no way to evacuate.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, this looks like basically they wanted a futuristic background tank in several episodes, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of detail on it, and again, it's even inconsistently drawn in animation. So, shrugs? I'm actually
it could
curious.
also, maybe this back opens up like an APC?
We know that there are usually two people in this. There's a pilot and a gunner.
Okay.
Its overall height is 3 meters, overall length 7.4 meters. Everything else, according to MAHQ, is unknown on it, so, you know.
Fair enough.
That's the thing. Anyway, the other thing making this different from a tank is instead of having treads attached to the side, you have 4... Well, it is 2, like, tread units, but there's a weird thing going on with them, right? So you can see the base of them even almost has the shape of the armor that would go over caterpillar treads on, like, the back of it and stuff. But then you've got these large monster truck kind of wheels on the outside, and then on a separate, like, little extra bit of armor towards the front, you have 2 smaller ones. And those have armor around the sides of them. So you've got these, like, really weird treadwells that then actually have just 2 normal wheels kind of in them that look like they would have, like, some mobility for doing, you know, movement, like left and right movement and stuff, and they'd be able to move up and down separately. So it's operating on 4 wheels instead of caterpillar treads.
We do not have the evidence to back this up. I wonder if either you can change these out, or if it's a different model, but, like, the build is kind of there, because I could, like, I believe, like, certainly in this shot, we see it being used, you know, near buildings. I wonder if this is, like, a city-friendly version, because treads would tear up the road?
Maybe. The thing is, Gundam IBO, this is not. These tanks rarely get any, like, action in the show, seemingly.
True.
IBO, the mobile armors, or the mobile workers, are a lot more considered. Feels like we wanted something that looks like a tank that fits into 00 for background shots, because they would be deploying tanks.
And I think it's cool looking.
Yeah, it's cool looking. Like, at a glance, it does its job, you know, for all our, like, wait, how does this work? Just as a cool looking future tank in a show, it works.
But you do finally, go, why does this have side skirts?
Finally, last little thing is, we've got little headlights on the front wheel treads, and then on the rear wheel treads, we've got stoplights in red. And yeah, so, it looks like, basically they show up in any scenes where a base is getting attacked, because it mentions them, you know, on the throne attack, and then it mentions showing up, during, when Celestial Being's going to save Alleluia on the ground. And in Season 1, these didn't stand a chance. In Season 2, the Ceravi and the 00 Gundam are what are being deployed against these. So, good luck.
My theory... So, perhaps if this like, tread swapping idea of mine would have to be an artist-only idea that didn't make it into the show, because we do see them deployed for the big desert operation, and they are still using their wheels.
Which I feel like a desert would actually be where you would want more treads. Hey, what's with the versions of them that have, like, little towers in the back there?
I don't think that's the same vehicle.
I guess it's a different vehicle, but what is that siege tower?
It seems like it's probably just a mobile command structure, right?
Yeah. I can't remember if those were used for the Gundam capture No, because all the Gundam capture things were on the mobile suits, and they were all, like, the weird electrified nets and stuff, right?
I am curious about this thing, though. I mean, I don't feel like this picture, at least, is not enough detail for us to, like, try and cover it, but...
No. And this is only... Even this mentions only the Tyrans and the Jiachongs. So...
Wait, I don't think I can probably find this, but there is mention of a thing called a conning tower vehicle.
Oh, that's probably what that is, then. That would make sense.
Yeah, I can't find this.
I'm checking MAHQ. I'm like, okay, let's go to the... Because they have the sections by faction, so I could go to the HRL section and see if... Nope. Nope, still not there. Well, let's see. We've got... Yeah, that's a ship. That's a large transport. That's marine transport. It might not have ever had any setae or anything.
Yeah, there's not a lot of interest in talking about side, non-mecha side machines.
I think I know the base of it though.
Oh?
It's called. There's a machine on MHQ called the trailer base, and look at the shape.
Oh,
that's it. That's probably it. It had various attachments. There's one with a platform to move mobile suits over land or water. It has floats attached so it can go over water. There's another that functions as a fire control vehicle, so it has some kind of sensor package. And then there's another with a mobile command center. So
thank you, Chris. You always do the hard work. And we've been creating work for you recently because we've been digging up weird, stupid variants that no one should care about. And you're like, fine, I'll update things. Sorry for making work for you. Thank you, Chris.
You guys have never complained at us.
No, that's part of why you have to apologize.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, this is a cute little vehicle. This is like a fun little RV, like a little raised RV. I like this.
It's like he's got like kind of like water spider vibes.
Yeah,
water skimmer. It's cute.
Yeah, I like that friend. All right. Glad I found that. Anyway,
yeah.
for the Jiachong, we've got two variants.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the engineer type and the AI control type.
The AI control type is more similar, so it'd be easier.
Yeah, let's just do the AI control type because it is the same thing, but on the front and back we have this little orange thing, so you know it's being controlled by an AI.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
it's clearly on the back one. Clearly, is just like a little pylon of some sort. It doesn't seem like maybe it has little sensors in these bits here, but this is clearly just a big camera for it to make judgments with.
Yeah. Which is yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other version is the engineer type. Which is...
There you go.
There we are. So with the engineer type, it's essentially just a construction vehicle version of it, which, to be fair, we've talked about these tanks being converted for construction and whatnot before. It basically has a bulldozer attached to the front between the two front wheel treads. Though I feel like, well, I guess they could move together with it. And then on the back of it, we've got a large, roller attached to the back, what are those called?
Like a road roller, like a steam roller?
Like a road roller type of situation going on there. Which, to be fair, it looks like we're seeing it literally helping pave a base on Ceylon here.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's like wet, like concrete or something, like a layer, so it's flattening.
I
that.
Guess
maybe
road roller is what. Yeah. Huh. No, okay. Road rollers are often referred to as steam rollers, despite that being obviously not true anymore. They're not steam these days, but that's just the term has sort of
So I'm assuming it's just compacting whatever. Well, I said cement, and probably not cement, probably like gravel or, whatever material they're using for this ground here, because you can see...
Like chip and oil or something?
Yeah. But it's just for, making sure it's all compacted and flattened. Which is, what road rollers do also.
No, chip and oil is actually, the proper name is chip seal. Because I had a moment of like, probably chip and oil's not the real name of that, right? But, yeah, no, it's chip seal. I appreciate the purpose this stuff serves. I don't like it.
Yeah. Oh, did you, I feel like my old school's track was made out of that stuff. Which
there's a very similar I feel like there's a similar material that I like. It looks a lot like that, but will get made out of like recycled rubber.
Yeah, it feels like rubber. Yeah, and it smells like it too.
That seems more likely to me, but yeah,
that stuff is awful because you sit on it because you are in gym class, and it's like, okay, everyone sit outside while we're describing this, and then your legs are now on the weird compacted rubber stuff that's all torn up because they probably haven't replaced it in years, and then it just gets stuck on your leg and hurts and smells bad, and I hate it.
if they use actual chip and oil for your track, it'd be like, that's a really bad idea. That shit'll tear you the fuck up because it's just like rocks and glue.
But it's like the rubber version of it. Yeah, they are. It's definitely rubbery, but it still sucks. Not great.
That stuff is really unpleasant. I don't like that texture.
Anyway, yeah. So basically, yeah, it replaces the turret with the road roller, the road roller on the back, and then adds this little bulldozer to the front, and there you go. It's now for engineering purposes and infrastructure purposes. We see this in episode 3. At the Ceylon base, which again, that's what real tanks do. So, as we've seen by our many tanks, like I think it was the T-34 with the crane setup and whatnot, which was fun. And then, I'm curious. I don't know if I'll find an article for it, and I'm not finding it on. I'm unfortunately not finding it even on MAHQ. Have we ever covered the weird drones from the show?
You're gonna have to be more specific. I'm not calling anything.
The killing the workers drones from season 2.
Oh yeah, we've covered the automatons.
Yeah, okay, I couldn't. Oh right, automatons, right? Is what they're called. Okay.
I do like. Imagine if they were called the killing the worker drones.
I mean. Alright, so one other thing I'm curious about, because I am on the... I know we normally don't cover ships and whatnot, right? And even, the lists of mobile weapons usually don't have the ships on them, which is why I didn't add them.
We've covered their ship carrier. The Laohu.
Oh, we did cover the Laohu? Okay. When did we cover that?
We did cover the Laohu. If there are other HRL ships, I don't think we've covered anything else, but...
I was curious if we covered, when we covered the Laohu.
It's one of our ship episodes or something. I remember talking about it in a professional capacity. I'm pretty confident. But
it looks like I'm not seeing it on Scanline's website. But it may not have been listed. I don't know. Laohu. Just because we're only at 45 minutes, so I was like, fuck it. What if we expanded it to talk about the HRL ships too?
I mean, it doesn't hurt to talk about something twice. We try not to do it because it's a waste of time, but if it turns out we've already covered this, it's not a big deal. Probably anyone who no one remembers anyway, so sure, let's talk about the Laohu for a bit.
Okay, yeah. May as well just, screw it. Maybe I'll put a cleanup section for the other factions and their ships. Maybe we'll just have to start doing that now.
Yeah.
Just to keep the list going for a little longer. Alright, so the Laohu class we've got. So this is from the... these are the weird transports. I think these show up when they're trying... Another Capture the Gundams operation, if I'm remembering.
Yeah, I mean, they show up everywhere. These are constantly in this show. But you're right that this is also specifically the one that they attempt their, capture the, Virtue and Curios mission with.
Right, because this is the one where they actually gum up, the Virtue's armor, right? Technically the Tyrans do this, and they're gonna bring it to this, so he has to eject the armor and do the, Nadli thing, and he's very, 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 very depressed about it.
I mean, the Laohu's role in this is to successfully capture the Curios, and then Hallelujah wakes up and gets mad. Well, no, he doesn't get mad. He actually has a really good time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's always having a good time. I don't think Hallelujah himself generally has bad times. Usually if Hallelujah's around, Hallelujah had a bad time, and then Hallelujah's gone. Is what usually happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so this is a multi-purpose transport ship designed by the HRL. Pretty simple. There's a core ship going on here. The main little front area, you've got a little cockpit. I wonder if those are sun visors or something, something for, when you're in space and sun's rays are very intense.
Mm-hmm.
Just feels very
no, they're not. No, they're not. They're just rendered that way. Here's a in cockpit view. They're just being kind of lazy.
Oh, it's these helmets is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I
And
see.
clearly,
I see how you do that.
Sergei doesn't need one, so
Sergei doesn't need one. I mean, I guess if you're not flying towards the sun, you're fine. Anyway, so for the front of this design, though, you've got this main central fuselage that has the little cockpit area on the front. The cockpit is in a different color. It's like this umber. It's like an orange-brown color.
Mm-hmm.
It's got on either side of it, propellant, like these small propellant tanks for just this frontal area. Presumably these might even be like the water propellant that a lot of the HRL machines use, given that it looks very similar to the large water tanks. Because remember the Tyrann and stuff had the weird water propellant that was in the big metal canisters like that, so I don't know if that would be good enough for a whole ship, but that's at least what these resemble on the front. These large ones, probably not. These large ones are definitely a different fuel source, I imagine. And then, so behind this little cockpit is a smaller hexagonal canister. Not quite an even hexagon. It's a little longer. It's, the top section's a little more blunt and the bottom sections are a little longer. And then that canister is like, I assume just like the base one that all models have. And then the whole thing with this is it has a modular design where it has 3 really large hexagonal, it's like an array of canisters, right? Like an array of transports. So theoretically, if it wanted to save space or save on weight, it could even have like parts of these like removed, You can see the way these are sectioned. It's a bunch of open doors, and then these are theoretically just for storing whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the use of these is pretty wild, like wildly. I mean, the HRL designs are always very like utilitarian in a very like sensible, no nonsense way, and it's like these can be like carrying mobile suits. We'll get some, like here are some Tyranns popping out. They can be loaded up with like random ordnance, like these probe dispensers or like a linear cannon.
And you can see they actually have these frontal doors too, so you can use these frontal doors for, if you have it like, if you had this like loaded with missiles, for instance, right, like, or torpedoes, you might have like a thing that pushes them up, and then you could just have them like guided missiles leave that.
Like so.
Yeah. Or again, as you can see here on the top too, this one, instead of over the normal door, has a linear cannon of some sort. That's the Catharon model there. You can tell because of the blue.
In all the episodes of Gundam 00, does any linear cannon ever do anything?
No. Because like that's what the flags use by default. And when they shoot at the Gundams, they just bounce off.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's the Catharon one, by the way, just with the, you can see it have the cannons loaded instead on these frontal containers.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then in between the containers, because the containers have the same kind of oblong hexagon shape of the middle, in between them you have these what are probably just large fuel tanks, large propellant tanks. Given their design, it looks like they would also just be easily ejected from the main Laohu in the middle. But if you were using this solely for carrying mobile suits... Now, what's interesting is MAHQ mentions a capacity of 12 mobile suits, but I would think... Because these are each 5, so 5, 10, 15 is what I would have
Maybe
guessed.
the front one is always reserved for ordnance?
Oh, yes, so then 4, 8, 12, yes. Okay, that might be the case, that these frontal ones are always, like, set up for... maybe the inside of them is modified in some way so that they wouldn't have mobile suits? I don't know.
Let me post the picture again.
Let's look.
That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you don't see anyone in that first one, but it's because they're going up in sequence, so presumably that one hasn't been elevated enough yet.
Yeah.
But the doors are open.
Interesting. So I'm going to not to be like Chris, I have a correction, but I think technically these could carry up to 15, probably.
Probably.
Now, you would probably want the ship to have some form of defense for itself, so you probably would want these front ones to have something in them, like some kind of ordnance, honestly, because other than that, it doesn't have any way of protecting itself. This little main ship doesn't have anything.
It's very funny that this is called Laohu, which is tiger, when these things are like... I feel like their role is to be like the number one victims in the series.
Yeah, I feel like these are the ships we see most often, generally speaking.
And the single vehicle we see get destroyed the most.
Which makes me sad, because I actually really like it as a design.
Well, I mean, part of what I like about it is just, I use utilitarian a lot. I mean, it is like a bunch of cargo pods strapped together with some propellant tanks. It's clearly very cheap to make.
Yep, and then even the bridge on the front, just to show this, the bridge can eject from the main fuselage tank, so it can just leave, too, and just be its own independent little ship. So, yeah. Also, while we don't have photos of it, in the movie, while fighting the Else, there are versions of these equipped with some kind of beam weapon, or laser cannon of some sort. Some kind of energy weapon, though.
Sure.
Probably still doesn't do well against the Else, given that nothing does well against the Else.
Except for understanding.
Yeah. But yeah. So, yeah, that would be the Laohu class.
It feels like its rather direct successor is the Virginia class.
Is the Virginia... Who uses the Virginia? Is that just...
Virginia is... Oh, wait, no, Virginia is Union. But I was just thinking because it has a similar, like, this sort of, like, cargo bay style situation made me think of it, but...
Yeah. That's the other... Okay, yeah, Virginia's the other 00 ship I remember seeing a lot, so... Oh, right, because Caddy is on one of these, right. That would probably explain why I remember this one.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm totally... I mean, here, we can see two, and that we can see both of these friends in the same shot here.
Yeah. Instead of having the large 3 hexagons, we've got 2 even larger blue ones attached to the side of the fuselage. It's also a lot more of like an independent like battleship, I would say. Like the Laohu feels like it could be... The Laohu feels like it could even be used for civilian purposes, right? Like shipping, like a shipping company or a hauler or like any kind of transportation. This feels like a warship, but with large containers on it, like just the design of it.
I mean, it also feels like it perhaps has a little bit of the classic American military problem of being a vehicle that's not allowed to just have one role.
Yeah. Well, Bradley fighting vehicle, etc., etc. Anyway, for the HRL though, we also have 2 other relatively minor things to talk about. We have a large aerial transport, which doesn't have a specific name. It is just called a large HRL transport. It is a cargo transport.
Forgot about this thing.
And yeah, I mean, looking at it, it is... I mean, that's what it is, right? It is a large transport. You've got a central fuselage that is like the cargo area. It is very boxy in the middle. And then you have 2 large wings going out on either side. Kind of a double wing setup, because it's got these like wings that do the, what is that? When they
gull
wing thing at the end and go down on the back, but then the front one is just straight all the way through. And then on the underside, you've got some intakes and presumably, like, I would presume maybe jet engines? Given that it's intakes. But yeah, it's it's a large transport vehicle. And then there's also, we see in the background for the HRL as well, their large marine transport, which is the same thing, moving large amounts of military hardware just in the water. So it's basically a big ship. You've got the command tower. The command tower has some CIWS guns. The command tower has one, and it looks like there's one at the front. I presume this is this bay here might be for either could use it for cargo, or I could even see this being used for, like, mobile suit. Like, you know, if you have mobile suits on the deck, you would hook them into that. It's got some cranes towards the back of it. You got some windows on the lower, for the lower decks, on the upper level of the lower decks, I should say. And then as it goes into the water, kind of has this interesting thing where it, like, has a big gap on the underside middle of it, and you've got these two large, almost, they look like submarines themselves, right? Like, as quote-unquote legs under the water here. And it floats on those, and theoretically just has a gap in the middle.
For, like, another ship, a smaller ship, or...
Yeah,
I suppose probably some mobile armor, aquatic mobile armors or something to be serviced.
Yeah, for sure.
Or just a normal mobile suit just floating
or
in the water.
Boat.
Imagine, I just want to imagine a bunch of Jinxes floating through in a little line.
That's funny. And yeah, so that's all of the HRL vehicles.
I think that's everything. Yeah.
That's everything. Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about. We've exhausted it. But we are at an hour, so that feels good enough for me now. So, yeah. 6. Where can people find you and your work online?
You can find me on Blue Sky 6.scanlinemedia.com. You can find my work at scanlinemedia.com or at patreon.com/scanlinemedia. We do a bunch of work over there, and we would appreciate your support. And if you were curious about that mention of MAJ-Ranger earlier, we're covering Maho Sentai MAJ-Ranger on this season of Sunday Henshin Time, where we talk about Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, and Pretty Cure. And we'll have our next special up probably the week this goes out, I think, will be the next special ep, which is fun. Covering the first Futari wa Pretty Cure Max Heart movie. And then, what is... let me get the name of this thing right, because this thing's really interesting.
As a quick aside, the fucking... Europe is falling behind. They have, like, no vehicles.
That's I know, really I saw that, and I was like, maybe we should even just... so we'll cover the first... Futari Pretty Cure Max Heart movie, and then also Cho Ninja Tai Inazuma, which is... The premise of this is incredible. It's a Sentai show that has a whole bunch of folks from... I should say Tokusatsu show that has a whole bunch of folks from Super Sentai in it, and it is intended as something of a comedy, right? And the year is 2076, and a TV producer is trying to make a show for the 100th anniversary of the in-universe Super Sentai show, and the president is like, okay, you have to travel back in time to Edo, Japan, and do a reality show about turning random peasants into toku heroes.
Okay. That's
which is
very
an incredible
funny.
Pitch.
Amazing.
So yeah, we'll talk about that too. And if you want to talk with us about that, or about some mecha, or whatever, you can find us over on the Scanline Media Discord. There's a link down in the show notes, unless you're on YouTube. What about you, Dylan?
You can find me over on Blue Sky at Low Poly Robot, usually just posting robots and games. Funnily, relating to 00, I recently posted the pages of the Gadessa and the Garazo, because I like those designs and was thinking about them. And I also sometimes I am not a news person really, but I do post sometimes hey, if there's a new model coming out that interests me, I post those, or I got a new art book or whatever. I usually just post just random stuff I'm interested in. It's a place for me to be self-indulgent. Truly the freest way to experience social media. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. And so
it's just Hakuri. He says a lot in that one part of that show.
Okay. Yeah. It does.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I was like, wait, I can actually do the thing that I never do anymore.
Look, shows evolve. It's fine.
They sure do. Peace.
Peace.